Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name is Preston.
We're reporting once again, live from the trap house, in the peak of allergy season.
Oh, are you feeling it?
It fucking sucks, bro. So, today, we're breaking news again. This is just Highly Suspicious Podcast equals the news at this point. Because we just come to you all with the stories as soon as they come out. The latest news, NASA has released a new image of a door-shaped rock formation captured by the Curiosity rover on Mars. So, me and Preston were kind of already talking about it, but we never really said what we thought about it. Like, is this definitely an alien door?
Dude, it just looks so unnatural.
It looks extremely unnatural.
Dude, this rover is supposed to have, the best camera we've ever sent to another planet. So, it is insane just how perfectly, if you look at, early human civilizations and how they would be, building into, canyons
Rocks.
and shit,
Yeah.
it looks like that. It's just carved so perfectly.
I mean, it's just funny to me because it looks exactly what I'd imagined an alien door on Mars to look like. Literally just built into the rock. And they got some, high-tech shit in there.
High-tech shit in there. Or it's just Mars people.
Martians?
Except not fancy Martians. Just people chilling on Mars.
Dudes on Mars.
Dudes on Mars. Bro.
You think the billionaires are already up there?
Yes, actually.
That's what that is?
That could be it.
They were so lazy they walked 5 feet away from where the Curiosity rover landed.
Bro.
Because they just hitched a ride with it.
Yes. It all makes perfect sense, Louis. All the billionaires that you've seen recently, they're actually deep-faked or they're robots.
Or clones like Kim Jong.
Oh, shit. I forgot about the clones, Lou.
Don't forget about the lizard people.
Oh, my God. But I don't know. We both know we agree that there is intelligent life elsewhere in the universe.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
However,
not that it's that close.
Exactly.
Because I feel like Martians, as just a term, has just been denigrated over the time.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the only other planets whose names we knew at a certain point in time. But now we have names for shit that's a billion light years away. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and like I said, it's easier for me to think just Mars people, not scientifically advanced alien species, alien civilization. But just Mars is not a good place to live, so maybe there's just a small population of Martians living underground, just chilling.
Have you seen Mars Attacks?
Yes. Those aliens are fucked up.
The fucking CG alien things. That movie's pretty good, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Really?
That's got Jack Black in it for 2 seconds, and he's
my God.
And he's like, oh man, I'm gonna fuck these aliens up. And then he pulls up on the front line and he just gets whacked in the first 5 minutes of the movie. He's one of the first people to fucking die. And then his brother's just no! Jack Black, why did you have to fight the aliens all by yourself?
That is such a Jack Black
way to die.
Roll. Yes, way to die. I'm gonna fuck these aliens up. Immediately murked.
I'm about to have a strange take, Preston. I feel it coming on. I think that Jack Black does not have enough roles in movies where he dies. I think that Jack Black should have more movies
he
where
is
he
a curmudgeon. He really
dies.
does just be surviving no matter what.
Can we talk about how good Steve Buscemi deaths are? I mean, every single one is
Steve
better
Buscemi
than
does die a lot.
In Big Lebowski and have you seen Fargo? He gets thrown in the wood chipper in Fargo.
Bro, what
hard.
the fuck? That might be one of the worst ways I can imagine going. Fucking wood chipper.
That would not be slow.
No, it would take forever. What do you think Mars people would look like?
Like the aliens from Mars Attacks.
Scientifically.
No, maybe just like the gray aliens, like the generic, like...
Dude, I want you to say some weird shit like maybe they're... If they live underground, right?
Then they might not have eyes.
Right, they could just not have eyes. Use, like, echolocation. If you mixed a human with, like, an ant or some shit.
Ant people.
Ant people on Mars.
This shit just writes itself, Preston.
Ant people on Mars.
They should really pay us for this.
Yeah. I mean, with the way this timeline's going, though, we could just be writing it.
We're T-minus 2.5 years towards ant people until ant people are...
Until we evolve into ant people. Dude, I'm
already feeling a little antsy.
There is, like, the idea of us becoming more and more integrated with technology. And there is a certain point where it's like if everybody has a computer built into their brain and it's all connected to one system, you're ants. That's the same as an ant. You're part of the hive mind at that point.
Aren't we already?
Societally.
We have antennas sticking out of us, man. Do you have anything else to say about the door? Because I have another piece of alien news to divulge upon us.
I really can't think of a natural rock formation that looks like that. And we have some crazy shaped shit here on Earth. Like,
especially just like the way it looks in the picture. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't. It looks like a doorway. In the same way, like, we'd have a doorway. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're just like me. They walk through the door one-legged at a time.
Alien architecture, just like ours.
There is the theory that we got a bunch of, like, alien technology, and that's why, you know, we developed the way we have. It's possible that we're already using alien technology.
I mean, I've heard that about literally computers, phones, some aircraft, and...
I mean, some of the shit we've been able to do with aircraft is just crazy. Like, we literally have jets that move... like 5 times faster than the speed of sound.
That is fast as fuck, but I don't know. If you've ever seen like a
that's pretty
UFO video, they do seem to move like even faster than that and at like such weird angles. Like it's not like a plane, it's like hovercraft.
Someone in the comments said that there's something looking out of the door, and I don't fuck with that.
You don't fuck with that.
I don't fuck with that at all. If I see a face, Preston, I'm gonna scream. Fucking demon face just smiling in the fucking darkness of the...
Or it says 666.
I would not want to go in there. Let's make that the conversation. If you are an astronaut and you saw a
random ass
doorway, are you thinking, let's investigate?
If I'm in a movie, yes.
But let's talk about real life. Preston went through 12 years of astronaut school from SpaceX Academy, and he goes to...
Dude, don't predict the future for that, please. I don't want that to be a thing.
You go to Mars, and you see the alien doorway. In a no-cap way, are you actually, like, scared enough that it's a fucking alien thing? Or are you just thinking rationally?
I would think it's an alien thing, but I would be curious enough to investigate.
Bro, what if critters start coming out?
Just some alien tentacles just, like, pull you in and a Cthulhu-like monster eats you alive. I would also imagine, back to the worst ways to die, I would imagine being eaten alive, like, eaten whole, would be one of the worst ways to go.
Sarlacc pit.
Yes. Just, like, getting digested. That's probably awful.
Oh my god, look at that.
Oh shit, I do see it.
That definitely looks like something in there. Tell me why that looks like a minion to me.
I see little like stoner eyes, little fat ass head, and like I see like an alien peace sign. It looks like he's leaning out like, "Suh, dude."
Does he have a blood in his mouth like the old 2015 memes where the aliens really like to smoke?
I feel like that's literally Roger from American Dad. Like the way the head, quote unquote, is shaped. That's hilarious. It was Mark Zuckerberg all along.
This one made me laugh.
That's so good. I wish I could Photoshop like that. I'd make so many good memes.
So this is a 2-parter story, since we love to break shit in the alien community. What if people start talking about us like we're
ancient alien conspiracy theorists?
No, like we're like the top of the field type shit. They talk about highly suspicious.
Like we get our own show on History Channel.
The show is just we get really high and go into work and we're like, dude, what the fuck is that? Like that's definitely an alien.
Just start
calling everything an alien. Alien, pointing to everyone in the room.
I'm gonna start doing that at work. Do we have a window before the drive-through window that is tinted so they can't see in? And sometimes I will watch people as they wait to get up to the drive-through window. Mm-hmm. I've seen people picking their nose. I've seen people doing other weird shit. I've seen people fighting. Next time, somebody who just looks really weird, I'm just gonna be like, bro, it's fucking alien. There's fucking alien in the fucking drive-thru.
So this story is also on rattv.com, which is a
very legitimate news source.
Which is honestly the realest news that we have anymore, if you think about it. But the U.S. government reveals UFOs are potentially a national security threat.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very
It's the only reason that they would be actually investigating it or actually collecting information on it. However, I think part of it is initially the thought process was this is a foreign power with advanced technology.
Yeah.
And then...
But what if they're not?
Okay. What if it's... Honestly, though, a lot of ancient alien people will get to a point where they're like, the aliens are just from another dimension, or the aliens are people time traveling from the future.
Do you not think that's reasonable at all? I feel like the way that the universe is set up, how we're so far away from everything,
mm-hmm.
aliens would probably have to figure out interdimensional travel to be able to...
I mean, true, they would be using wormholes for long distance travel, just because otherwise it's still going to take fucking light years to get to anything.
What if black holes shoot you out somewhere else?
They totally do.
There's a bunch of people or the same dimension.
There are a bunch of people who believe that just because energy can't be destroyed, fundamentally energy can't be destroyed. So energy that is going into a wormhole, matter that is going into a wormhole, cannot be destroyed. It has to be going somewhere else. So there is the theory of white holes, where it's the opposite of a black hole, and they could be connected, where it's literally for every black hole there has to be a white hole somewhere that is just expelling all of this energy
That's interesting.
At a base state. There's other theories about how the universe is literally the Big Bang was it's on a loop, so everything sort of gets closer over time, mm-hmm. and collapses back in on itself, and then it becomes a wormhole state, mm-hmm. and then it expels all that energy somewhere else, and that's another universe that gets created, mm-hmm. and it just kind of keeps happening over and over.
What if the universe is already ended, but we're so many light years away from the collapse
where it started?
See it yet?
It's totally possible. There's also people who... that was one of the conspiracy theories I saw on a long list that I was looking at, that I thought was really interesting, where they were theorizing that when they discovered the Higgs boson,
yeah,
they created a black hole, mm-hmm. and
it swallowed us.
And that it swallowed us, and we just haven't even realized that it happened, but that was back in 2012.
Damn, so the Aztecs were right.
Yeah.
How did we not realize it, though, if we got swallowed by a black hole?
I don't know what the logic is. I do get that it could be if it's collapsing everything at the speed of light, and black holes make time weird, because gravity affects time.
Right.
Yeah, very weird.
It's crazy that black holes can bend light.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that Einstein was talking about, how, light moves as a particle and a wave.
Which is nuts.
Which still doesn't really make any sense. But
yep.
We're still
it's true.
Shit out.
Einstein was just that smart.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being that smart?
Too smart for your own good, probably.
Literally. I'm sure that every genius like that was a fundamentally flawed individual. I bet nobody related to them liked them. I'm sure that there's just some... Because, think about it for a second. Think of the smartest person you know.
Me. Keep going. I have the person in mind.
How much do you like them compared to other people?
Nada.
Exactly. Exactly. A lot of times smart people are like an actual pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. And I think there just has to be some connection to it. Mm-hmm. Like, the smarter you are, there has to be a tipping point.
Are there not any smart people that are smart enough to know that they don't know anything and are just humble? I mean, I don't think... Well, I don't know.
I'm sure there are, but I bet they're not, like, the smartest people in the world. I bet those are just, like, above average IQ people, not, like, blowing everybody else out of the water IQ people. Tesla was supposed to have, like, a weird obsession with aliens.
I'm sure they do. I know they do, actually.
Yeah, I think it was literally that he would, like, say that he was getting told, like, his ideas by aliens, basically. I gotta look that up. But I'm pretty sure that I've heard about that somewhere. I think I'm literally remembering an episode of Ancient Aliens.
So our new segment that we're trying out today is going to be called Musical Intermission. And we're basically going to come to the table with one song that we pick, and we're going to play a little bit for you right now, and we're just going to talk about it.
Used to draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth who refused to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform.
So that was Rings by Aesop Rock, but he's on Rhyme Sayers, if you know that label. But I've been into him forever, and I've just always been attracted to his weird style. But fits. I'm gonna ask you, what are your initial thoughts? And we don't even have to go into the message yet. You can talk about sonically, how you.
I think it's funny.
Was it too weird?
No, it's good weird. It's not my taste, but I get it. Mm-hmm. I do like some music that has a video gamey sort of sound to it. I like the drums a lot, and I like a lot of parts of it. Mm-hmm. I do think I enjoyed it with the music video, but trying to listen to it without the music video, I didn't make it through the whole song. But I was trying to read the lyrics with it because I get that it's interesting. Mm-hmm. And I listening to the whole thing, I totally get it more, and you told me it was about losing artistic ability, mm-hmm. which is something that I can relate to. I get the I used to draw. I literally need to get back into shit like that.
He said I used to draw, and he also said I used to paint.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that I can't particularly relate to the skill of drawing exactly, but I can relate to that as far as playing a musical instrument and other means of
other skills artistic. Where it's you use it or you lose it. That's really how it is. And I think it's interesting that this is the song that you chose as your first pick, because it's not surprising. You've told me before that you like certain techno-y stuff. Uh-huh. And so it is kind of a fusion between, because I also know you like lyrically based songs mm-hmm. a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's got both of those factors.
But the thing about this, when the rapping is this good, to me, the beat doesn't have to do as much.
True.
I'll take it back to the Kendrick just because I've been thinking about it, you've been thinking about it. It's mostly what I've been listening to. Just the way, United in Grief, that second part of the song is pretty much just over drums, and Kendrick's just spazzing out over it. I can find enjoyment when it's just an MC carrying, and I can find enjoyment when it's musically carried. You're talking a lot about the sound, and I get that. That's probably what puts a lot of people off, but the sound...
It's just a very specific taste.
It's just not even, particularly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the lyrics, and, you probably don't get... Well, I'll speak for myself. I didn't get fucking anything he was saying out of this the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
Just because of the way he's rapping.
No, I kind of feel that.
It can be a little herky-jerky.
It took me a couple lines of where he's saying, they'll cut you down just to count your rings. That, poetically, that's a beautiful fucking line. Mm-hmm. I love that. And that's really good. That's a very relatable statement.
he's kind of talking about that, like, I think he's kind of talking about, like, how, like, art school kind of put him off of art, which is also a perspective I can relate to a lot, because...
I've had that exact experience with reading. I was trying to explain that to somebody, where I was like, I was forced to read so much, and I used to be the kid walking and reading at the same time down the hall. Like, it's fucked that an education can be so forced that it'll ruin something you actually already enjoyed.
I really like the part in this where he says he didn't pick up the brush for a day, and then 2, then 3, then a month, and then the rest of your life you beat yourself up. Like,
yeah. No, and it really does quickly become that, where it's like, you know, it can just be a while, and then you'll say, I need to do this again, and then not do it, and next thing you know, it's even longer, and it becomes... It really can become, like, harder once you're so distanced from something that you used to do.
Everything, especially, like, skill-based shit, really takes, like, a rhythm to it. Like, if you haven't been drawing,
well, it
like,
also
10
really
days in a row...
fucks with your confidence if you, like, have enjoyed something and then go back to it, and it's been so long that, like, it feels like a chore, and that you are doing it and don't feel confident or do not feel pleased with the result because you're just out of practice.
I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Eating up his innards, an unfeasible anxiety, his brutally committed to relinquishing his privacy. Like...
Interesting.
That's even hard for me to kind of... And I've been listening to him for years. It's just very coded in the way...
I like reading it like that because it sounds like poetry, which is what rap is. Like, they follow the same fucking rules. And so it's really interesting to read something like that because there's a lot to unpack there. Like, you could go through each of those lines and unpack a single message from it, and then it would have an underlying message of how the artist actually feels.
Now, that album's probably his most, like, down-to-earth, like, it's the easiest to, like, understand what he's actually talking about.
Yeah.
Because he has that song, he has a song where he's talking about, he's telling, like, these stories about his brothers, and the first one he's just talking about how at like his brother's baseball game one time there's like a gopher on the field, and like everybody stops the game because they're excited that there's a gopher on the field, and the fucking coach just sees red and fucking runs out there to kill the gopher.
What the fuck?
Like,
what's the message of that story?
In stuff like that, he's just reminiscing because that's something that actually happened to him. That's a real...
Wait, genuinely?
Story. Yes.
The coach just saw red and tried to kill the gopher. Bro. Imagine being at that. Just out of nowhere, grown-ass man runs out to kill innocent animal on the baseball field. Oh my god.
I thought this story was very interesting that I saw this morning. Breaking news.
Another breaking news story.
So here's the headline. AirPods ruptured child's eardrums due to Amber Alert. Apple faces lawsuit. Just off of that, you pretty much understand what happened. Basically,
holy shit.
Basically, the details. A kid is watching a movie on his phone or whatever, and he is listening to it at a low volume, and then the Amber Alert comes on his phone, and you know
and it goes to max volume.
Pretty much, and it just fucking blows out his eardrums.
Well, I'm sure just suddenly having that, too.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a loud sound and you slowly get closer to it. It's just like out of nowhere, directly in your fucking ear. Poor kid. Jeez.
So, there is something to say that Apple's accountable.
Yes, but they better have a really good fucking lawyer if they want any money.
Well, big companies like Apple always like settle under the table, and you don't even hear about how much the settlements are. Like, if they think they could buy them off with like a couple milli, like that's light work for them. You know how many iPhones that is? Cost them like 10 cents to make an iPhone. It cost them $1,000 retail. They got that shit, bro. You know who I'm pointing fingers at in this situation?
Who?
The people that do Amber Alert
for just having it at max volume.
'Cause it's just like, what's the point of it in the first place? Why does Amber Alert have to, like, take over my phone like the severe
like nobody's business?
And I love the memes about Amber Alert, because it's just like, what do they want us to do? What do you want me to do?
They want you to be a hero, Louis, and go out there and find that little brown-haired girl in the red sedan.
I'm Batman.
Literally, like, imagine if somebody did that, though. Anytime they got an Amber Alert for their area, they were just like, alright, time to patrol the streets.
I'm on the ass.
Just, like, goes outside, sees a car, the color of the car in the description, and just starts sprinting after it like Captain America.
I'm envisioning him just getting in the middle of the street being like, halt! Stop right there!
Citizen's arrest. Oh my god.
You are under arrest, but I didn't do anything.
That's what they all say, Grandpa. Tackles him. Also, news. You know how there was that Vice article about the LMPD?
Is there like a documentary out or something? Or like a report or something?
It's like a report, and it's definitely affected some shit in Louisville recently. But the Metro Council president has called for changes to the LMPD's like entire policy after this.
It's crazy
expose.
that Vice of all people had to fucking do that.
It is crazy, but it also shows how lacking our local journalism really is. Like we have little local news channels. We have the Courier Journal and some local magazines. Like, it's not like there's anybody who would actually be investigating, like, investigative journalism, actually.
If I was going for the little fish, I'd do great things for this city. But unfortunately, I'm more worried about taking down the big fish, like the Tom Brady's and the NFLs of the world.
Bro.
So what did that report say?
It was talking about how, apparently, they will be doing raids in the West End. Like, systemically, like, there's intense racism and racial divide in the city. Like, the segregation of the city is kind of fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And so they'll do... there's just way more police presence in the West End than there is outside of it. And so they'll be doing raids in the West End, and apparently drugs just keep going missing when they do.
Huh. That's interesting.
It's very interesting. So, yeah, a lot of the times when the narcotics division will do a raid in the West End, some of those drugs just seem to keep disappearing just into thin air.
So, Preston, postulate with me. What does that mean?
I think our police like drugs. Or our police be selling drugs.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think
there's only
it's
so much drugs one fucking person
can do.
Well,
and if you're doing raids and you are the narcotics division, you're not just getting like weed or the fun stuff. You know, you're getting hard drugs. What are you gonna do with that besides sell it? And I'm sure they're probably doing it in some very complicated way, and I hope there is an internal investigation that proves us right. Big ol' callback to when we're talking about people investigating themselves, basically.
Yeah.
Let's see how this one goes. Hopefully there will be some pressure just due to this article and due to...
The thing about it, only external investigations have the actual best interest at heart. Because LMPD does not. And the thing about that is an internal investigation, they have the most resources to be able to figure out shit. But they don't.
I also totally think that is the most likely scenario. Is that they're doing raids and selling and or using those drugs in like some nefarious plot to get arrest up. So maybe they use some of those drugs to like plant on people and shit.
Yeah, that's there have been reports of that.
That would also be likely because, you know, for-profit prisons are very lucrative, which is incredibly fucked up. For-profit prisons is like one of the craziest things. I remember learning that was how prisons worked. Yeah. And being blown away. I was like, that's got to be like a government thing. Like, surely that is a government thing that everybody pays for with their taxes. No.
It's government subsidized.
It is.
But that's part of the reason why it's so lucrative, because you make money for how many fucking inmates you have.
Yeah, literally. And, you know, if you have big money like that, you can lobby to make things illegal if you want to. Money's fucked up.
I hate that the LMPD masquerades their inability to produce a solid internal investigation as ineptitude. Mm-hmm. They're masquerading it as ineptitude when in reality, they know what the fuck they're doing.
Absolutely.
It's cover-ups. It's fucking bullshit. They're portrayed as a bunch of fucking donut-eating fucking pigs.
Yeah.
And part of that is true, but
some of them are.
They are.
But some of them are incredibly malicious individuals.
Crooked.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day where it's like, do you think anybody really feels comfortable or more comfortable than average when they see like a cop car or a police officer in general?
It's fear tactics.
That's insane. Like,
we get to the meat when it's just you and I.
Yeah, that's true.
Pause. Well, thank you all for coming out again this week. Thursday is my birthday. And then after that, I'm going to Florida. So we're just going to have 2 more episodes lined up before I leave. So
we're going to get it done.
By the time I come back, I'm going to have a tan.
You're going to have a tan?
Yeah.
Louis going to tan in Florida.
Somewhere by Naples.
Interesting.
That's the exact
That's the description that you got. Given. Nice.
Not in Naples.
By Naples.
Around Naples, if you will. So yeah, we're out, everybody. Peace.
Peace.